Right guys, Mark Crossfield here. In my hands today we've got the Callaway Rogue Hybrid. This one's got jailbreak and other bits. We're going to play a few holes, see how it goes. Got some dry ball data as well. Rogue Hybrid, kind of familiar high toe look. Do we like it? Yes or no? Well, let's try it and see, shall we? Let's get stuck in. It's a 19-degree loft that I've got to try. Good strike there, came off the face nice. Didn't go as high as I was expecting, kind of went nice and forward. Felt quite nice. So the Rogue Hybrid, we see jailbreak. So what we've seen in Epic Driver and now Rogue Drivers, two bars joining top to bottom. Again, trying to stabilize ball speeds across the face, firming up the top and the bottom of the club to get kind of even spring, if you like, off low and high hits as much as possible. And I guess left and right, which is what they're trying to do. You know, and it's advertised as increasing kind of distance and those kind of things, but really they're meaning distance across all of the face. Centre strikes, I mean, no one wants their hybrid going further. You need your hybrid mixing into the loft, into the gap of your set. But if you can get a decent kind of distance, consistency of short and long misses when you start dotting around the middle like all good players and golfers do, then if they're helping, that's a good thing. Go and test them. That's what you need to do always with this. Hard for me to really see a massive distance, but I'm happy they're there, I guess. 122 into a very cold wind. I'm actually going to chip an 8-iron, keep it down. Wind is strong. That's only just on the front. Hyper thin face, Callaway is saying, again relating it to distance. Also a hyper speed cup face as well. It's all about trying to keep distance consistent across the face. I often think it's marketed distance. People then have a bit of a tendency to go to custom fits and just hit these clubs as hard as possible. Really, they're trying to make sure you get consistent distance because you're going to bring in consistent hits. So the more they can keep those hits consistent in ball speeds, which then in turn will keep you consistent in distances, you won't be flying greens or coming up short greens. That's where I would try and see that word as much as possible moving forwards. Right, this hole into the wind, measuring 186 yards. It's got to be playing 200 easily. This is about a 200 to 220 yard club with a bit of bounce to me. I'm gonna hit it. Cold wind. I think it's the club. That'll be good. Don't know if it's long. As hybrids go, it's a lot of club down by the ball. With the high toe, you do feel like you've got a lot of face to hit from, which I think for the kind of players this is aimed at is only going to be a good thing. It's kind of the friendlier the better in this arena for lots of people, and having a lot of face down there with a club which you've got loft and often can push the ball up in the air with is great for confidence. I'm not a fan of the way it looks for my eye, but I have a distinct look I know I want. I feel for most people probably watching this video, if I put it down in front of the ball for them and said, like, you know, what do you think it looks like? They would love the fact that there is a lot of real estate for them to feel like they can make a contact on a club, which, to be honest with you, 200 yards, 180, 170, whatever you're hitting this, it's a gap where so many golfers can make so many gains, yet they choose to focus so much on drivers. Tough, this game, and it's really tough if you spend all your time working in the wrong area. Before we look at my distance control with this one, just getting up to the green, I can't quite see it yet. Here's the dry ball data I collected with Dan back at Torquay Golf Club. So averaging 208, what was interesting, I did get some pretty duff hits, like 196 and a 200, topping out, carrying at, what's this, 215, which is about right for my 19 degree, spinning at 3.4, launching at 13 degrees. Very good, really reliable numbers. My strike, not as reliable. Let's get back out on the course and see if I can hit a green with it. Yes, please. Again, the flight was kind of forward, and what I mean by that is obviously I don't hit many golf shots backwards. But the flight was kind of, this is into the wind, I don't want a hybrid ballooning up, and it didn't. And you can see by the dry ball data there, it's kind of where I need this hybrid to sit. It's going to be a lot on shape and feel and brand kind of alliance. I'm not a fan of the shape. I think lots of people will be. You go and test. But at the moment, I like the way it's performing. Go. Up. We're 200 yards out. It's a narrow green, we're upturned. So I need direction, but I'm gonna struggle to reach because we're still into that same wind. So I'm gonna hit 2 shots and I'm gonna hit them both as hard as I can. And this is where that big club face, or that tech we've talked about, in theory should be helping me, because as harder I hit this, so the more aggressive I swing at it, the more chance I'm gonna miss the CG, the sweet spot. I'm not sure I can even get this there in this wind. I am gonna jump on this. Oh, it's kind of slightly low on the face, so it's risen up. Is that reaching? Well, get up and see. Hit it kind of bottom, slightly heely. Did okay, went a bit higher than the other ones which I've hit. A little bit more up the face has given it a different spin fly. Gonna hit another one equally as hard. First one is promising that it might have reached. Second one ripped, went for a little draw, couldn't quite see it down. Let's get up and see, shall we, where they finished. So first one is just here. You can see the pin, long putt. So caught it slightly on the bottom. Happy it got on. I was expecting that to catch the drop off. So you could argue that's done quite well out the bottom of the club. Second one, which I ripped right at it. So it actually has gone quite close. And you can see it there just at the back of the green. I think the interesting point for me there is from the struck one to the ripped one. We're talking about 20, 15 yards. People often want to talk so much about 6 yards and 3 yards games. This is why I try to do this on the course, to show you if I can actually make pars with these clubs, which I think you're kind of seeing I can. And to try and get you to test with numbers, but to try and think about gaming situations always. You need to know how this club feels when you do catch it out the bottom. You don't want that deleted from the test. You want to know how that one did. And then in turn you want to know how it does when you catch it up the face and you rip it and you get that low spin, knuckle bally flight. You want to know the difference between those two shots, and is that a good thing or bad thing? It's what you need to decide. Footnote, forgot to mention, there's little ribs on the top. I just want my hybrid to go the distance it needs to go. I mean, I think they're just in line with the other clubs, really. Performance wise, would I use the Rogue? Absolutely. You can see I can hit target with it. I mean, I'm a hybrid fan and player. I want more people thinking about this part of their bags. I wish the companies would market this bit more aggressive than this driver hunt that you all get stuck in, but I don't think I'll ever win that war. Would I game it on looks? It's not for me. I'm not a massive fan of the high toes. Would I give this to students who want as much help as possible and are not that kind of confident in this range? Absolutely, because it's the amount of club that's down by the ball I think will just inspire people. Is Jailbreak a massive breakthrough in hybrids? I'm sure it is for their engineers. For me, I'm not fussed, but I'm sure it's helping me as well. Possibly, again, I can't measure it. So you go and test and tell me, post in those comments down below. Can you feel the difference between one with Jailbreak and not? I think it's a good hybrid to go and test for anyone who really wants as much face. Like, it's close to an old-fashioned 5-wood almost, do you know what I mean? But longer. It's not a little dinky hybrid. It does well. It's done well, really, hasn't it? I've hit some good shots of it.